Help us understand fact from fiction here on what happened with the NCAA, claiming it delivered on a promise and made profound and meaningful changes to college basketball in response to last year's federal indictments within the sport. So what exactly happened yesterday as we move forward?
Yeah, they are profound changes in the sense that we're going to see sports agents directly involved with NCAA sports, and that is a big change. We know for years the NCAA has been very skeptical, dubious of sports agents, and now, at least for a certain caliber of basketball players in college, they will be able to retain the services of a sports agent. Plus, if the NBA and Players Association agree to change the age limit in the NBA, then high school seniors who meet certain criteria will be able to get an agent as well. So this is a fundamental shift for the NCAA in terms of allowing sports agents, although in very narrow categories. It's not by any means everyone gets a sports agent, and everyone doesn't include football players either.
But what I don't understand here is they're saying to USA Basketball, hey, you guys decide who's elite. USA Basketball says, no, we don't want to be involved in this. But the NCAA goes ahead and says, hey, look at the changes we've made. Meanwhile, the NBA and USA Basketball are going, wait a minute, you're blindsiding us. We didn't know that you were going to actually go to print with this.
Yeah, I mean, one concern for the NCAA is that it doesn't want to appear as if it's conspiring with USA Basketball or conspiring with the NBA, because once it starts to do that, there's the possibility of an antitrust claim, that these are in some ways competing entities that could have joined hands to agree on rules that impact players. So, to defend the NCAA on this point, it actually makes sense to say we're not involved with who gets counted as a qualified player, that it's some third party with which we have no relationship. So the NCAA could be arguing, at least implicitly, they want separation from this distinction.
Yeah, I think it's a whole lot of nothing here, Michael. Maybe, you're seeing it through a legal prism, and I'm just looking at this with just what reality is. Elite players already have representation. And who's deciding who's elite? I imagine if there's a chance you're going to be drafted, then you should be considered elite. If they're only saying like 15 kids can be elite, I know they want to get rid of agents or at least control agents, and they want to try to soften AAU or water it down or take it away. I don't know if I see much of anything here, Michael.
Well, this could also just be the first step, right? I mean, I think we're going to see complaints by football players and also potentially women basketball players and other athletes that can turn pro who could bring a variety of legal claims if they wanted to go in that direction, arguing that they're being denied a benefit that an elite group of male basketball players can get. Yeah. So if that's the case and the NCAA feels pressured, I think we could see a more fundamental shift where agents are allowed more generally. And I think, I agree with you, Dan, that this isn't the big change in that these agents are going to be restricted from negotiating endorsement deals on behalf of players. That would be a big change. Or allowing players to monetize their name, image, and likeness through having a YouTube channel or other means. Those are not part of this deal. But if this is the first step of a longer sequence of events for the NCAA, I do think it could prove meaningful.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.